Today, I'm going to be talking about Walt Disney Animation Collection Volume 5, the DVD. So, the Walt Disney Animation Collection Volume 5 DVD, most of these shorts got released before, like on other Disney DVDs. Like the one in Willows, that's like an animated movie, but it was when the one Willows came out, it was paired up with the Legend of Sleepy Hollow. So it was called the Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. So the one Willows, so on this DVD it just has the one of Willows only. Well, there's also if you want the Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad, there's a DVD and Blu-ray for that. So, okay, so the one in Willows, it came out in 1949, and you got Mr. Toad, his horse Zero, Ratty, the Mole, and Badger. And Mr. Toad, he has like a mansion called Toad Hall, and Mr. Toad buys a lot of stuff. So one day, him and his horse Zero is like walking down the street, and he see like Mr. Toad sees a multi-car, and he wants to buy it. Like Mr. Toad wants to buy it so badly that he saw it to him. Like he wants to drive it so badly that he saw it hallucinated. So like so when you see him, it looks like he thinks he's driving the when Mr. Toad starts hallucinating, he thinks he's driving the multi-car, but when you see him, you just see him like act like he's driving. So like this picture right here, that's how Mr. Toad is. Like he thinks he thinks he's acting driving on the multi-car, but but the multi-car's not there. So he's like Mr. Toad's hallucinating. So one day he Mr. Toad meets a man named Mr. Winky, and Mr. Toad makes a deal with Mr. Winky saying that because okay he tells Mr. Winky I want to buy the multi-car, but I could trade you I could give you the deed for my mansion Toad Hall. So Mr. Winky makes a deal with Mr. Toad that he for the yeah so Mr. Toad signed the deed, and Mr. Toad gives his Toad Hall to Mr. Winky, and then Mr. Toad gets the multi-car. The next day, Mr. Toad he ends up in court. He was found guilty because Mr. Winky told the cops that Mr. Toad was trying to sell him a stolen multi-car. So Zero, Ratty, Mole, and Badger, they try and prove that Mr. Toad he's innocent. But the only way to prove that Mr. Toad is innocent if Zero, Badger, Ratty, and Mole get that paper, the deed from Mr. Winky, because that proves that that Mr. Toad's innocent. So yeah. Then you got the Ugly Duckling, and the Ugly Duckling. This is it came out 1939 as actually it's a remake of the 1931 cartoon. As so pretty much the Duckling that he's considered ugly from his original family. Like his original family, they don't want him. They don't want the Duckling because of they consider him ugly. So the Ducklings look for another family, and so pretty much like I said before, is a remake of it came out in 1939 as a remake of 1931 cartoon. The difference is the 1931 cartoon was produced in black and white, and like few things that happened in 1931 cartoon that didn't happen in the 1939 cartoon. So if you see the 1939 cartoon and you haven't seen the original cartoon, the 1931, definitely see it. And those who saw the 1931 cartoon and haven't seen the 1939 cartoon, definitely see it. Or you haven't seen any of them, see it. And then you got the Robber Kitten. And the Robber Kitten came out in 1935. It's about this kid named Ambrose. So one day he leaves his house. He's planning to become a robber. He calls himself Butch. Then he meets a robber named Dirty Bill. And then you got the Rise Little Hen. The Rise Little Hen came out in 1934. It's about this hen who the hen was looking for someone to help her to plant corn for the winter. And then she sees a duck and a pig. So the pig's name is Peter, and the duck is Donald Duck. And actually, so the hen tells Peter and Donald Duck, if you please help me plant my corn for the winter, but Donald Duck and Peter, they don't want to help the hen to plant the corn for the winter. And actually, this like I said before, the Wise Little Hen came out in 1934. This cartoon, it was the first appearance of Donald Duck. So yeah, and then you got the Golden Touch. The Golden Touch came out in 1935, and it's about a king named King Midas. He's greedy. Then one day he's able to grant a wish. So his wish is everything that he touches turns to gold. So, yeah. And that says the front, the back, and the spine. So the front, okay, so this the Willows, Mr. Toad, Ratty, and Mole. And this is so Mr. Toad's right there. That's Mole. Over there is an airplane. And if you see the screenshots, that's from the Willows. That's Zero. That's Mr. Toad's horse. He's Zero. He's my favorite character. I like the way he is. And this one's right here. That's from Grasshopper and Ant. So that's the Grasshopper that's playing the fiddle. And you see the ant over there. So yeah. So the cartoon shorts, the Willows, Ugly Duckling, Robert Kitten, Grasshopper and Ants, the Wise Little Hen, the Golden Touch. It's volume 5. So you take it out, it's like this. So it's a regular DVD case. And that's about it.